I'm sitting at my library right now, getting ready to take back some books and pick some other ones up. And you know, being in the handicap spot, which, speaking of which, can you see that? Oh. And being in the handicap spot, I'm like right by the door, and there's some guy who's sitting there right in the door. It's really awkward. Excuse me if my voice is a little off. I had a procedure done yesterday where I had to get, speaking of which, gotta hide that because I don't have any scissors to take that off right now, which I had to get anesthesia for it. I've got like a cough and my voice goes in and out, so if I'm coughing and sounding like I'm losing my voice like I am now, which of course I haven't had that, which of course hasn't happened all day, that's why. Hi guys, it's Sarah, and I'm here with my extremely late Underhyped Read-a-thon Wrap Up, and what seems to be turning into my bi-weekly wrap up. Basically, I'm going to tell you what I read during the Underhyped Read-a-thon and what I've read in the week since then. I pretty much failed at the whole Underhyped Read-a-thon thing for a couple reasons. First being, I forgot that I had started the Maze Runner before the Booktubeathon, and I didn't finish it. I put it down for the Booktubeathon, so I picked that up because it was due at the library that Tuesday of the Underhyped Read-a-thon, which was the second day. So, yeah. And I was only about 85 pages in, so I finished that on Wednesday. Yes. Turned it back late. High five to me. Woohoo! So I finished that during that week, even though that doesn't count because that's definitely not underhyped at all. The third reason I didn't do so well in this whole readathon thing was because this book right here, The Night of Elisa by Isis Sousa. I was really excited to read this. I thought it looked so cool. Like, the artwork is really cool and everything, and it's a novella, so it's really short. Basically, I couldn't finish this, and it put me in a really big reading slump. I got really annoyed. I'll talk more about it in a review because I have to review this because I got it from a Goodreads author. So, gotta review it, gotta finish it, but yeah, put me in a really big reading slump. And the next book I read, which was the second and last book that was underhyped on my TBR, was The Ghost of Nagasaki by Daniel Clausen. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Again, I'll be doing a review at some point of this because it's another review book. Basically, it's about this unnamed narrator who has moved to Japan to teach English at a school. Basically, it's 4 years later, and he starts to write a book and realizes he's starting to write about his first couple days in Nagasaki. I don't really know how to explain this book, except it's like paranormal, I think some magical realism in it. He's haunted by all of these ghosts from who knows where. As the book goes on, he seems to like slip in and out of madness. So that was really interesting, trying to figure out what was happening and just seeing his like mental state basically decline, trying to figure out what's real, what's not real, and I just really liked the writing. The setup of the book was kind of weird, but I'll get into that more in the review. But overall, really like this book. I would really suggest it. It's not YA, it's more adult, and it is kind of confusing, but it's totally worth the read. Again, 4 out of 5 stars. After reading this book and kind of getting in a slump, and then that book, which took me a while to finish because it's pretty dense, but it's still really good. I wasn't really in the mood to start any of the other books that I had to review, so I picked up a not hyped book, and that is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. I really, really loved this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, probably more like a 4.5. It's about a girl named Emmy who's about to graduate high school, and she is a set designer intern for some movies. And basically, she goes around to yard sales and estate sales and gets, props for these sets that she's helping to design. And she goes to one with her friend Charlotte, who's also working on the movie, but she's got like a completely different job. And basically, while they're there, they find these records that have a letter in them from the owner of the house, who was this like huge movie star. Basically, think like John Wayne, famous Western movies, that kind of thing. And he's just passed away, and that's whose house they're at. Basically, this letter is to his long-lost daughter, who nobody knew he had. Nobody's ever heard of this woman, so they go out and Emmy and Charlotte try to find her. It's like an adventure type deal. I really like this book. It's just this really cute contemporary, just with different spins on it, and it really made me want to like work on a movie set and be a set designer, because it just sounded really cool. 4.5 out of 5 stars. So that was it for the underhyped readathon. My fail. So now I'm going to get into the books that I've read in the past week and a half-ish since then. After I read Everything Leads to You, I picked up something. I picked up My Point and I Do Have One by Ellen DeGeneres. I have her Seriously I'm Kidding out from the library, which I got that before this, but I decided to read her books in order, so I picked this one out. This is her first one, and I really enjoyed this. I forget what I gave it. Either 3.5 or 4 stars on Goodreads. I don't remember. I'll have to put it somewhere. But yeah, this is basically, I thought it was going to be more of like a biography or autobiography or memoir or something. And it was more of like, obviously, it was more of her like acts, like stand-up acts. There was one that I definitely recognized from seeing some of her stuff on YouTube. There's one that she actually did reference that she didn't like actually really talk about, because she did it in one of her stand-up acts, and it was a lot funnier in her act because you could actually see her, and it depended on her, like, hand motions and facial expressions and stuff. So just basically the delivery of it was better, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny, especially her plane, the chapter about the plane. That was the one that I had seen on YouTube. That was funny. Then her journal entry was really funny. About, what was it about? Oh, her doing I did a rod. That was really funny. There was also some like really good passages I thought about, like life and self-esteem and stuff like that. Like her chapter on somebody mistaking her for being a man. So, yeah. I just thought it was really funny and really wise. And I can't wait to pick up her second book, which I'm about to do, I believe, is in at the library for me. So, yeah. I think I lied. I think I said that the Ellen DeGeneres book was the first book I picked up after Everything Leads to You, and that was a lie. Because I picked up The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han after that. After Everything Leads to You. And I gave this 2.5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I did not enjoy this very much. I think it's more for people who are a bit younger than me. The main character, Belly, is 15, turning 16, and she goes to a summer house with her mom and her brother every summer, and they share the house with her mom's best friend and her 2 sons. Basically, there's a love triangle there's a love square that I just thought was ridiculous, and Belly was just a little too immature for me. So I did not really enjoy this one, but I can see why other people would. So if you like contemporaries about summer and, you know, love stuff, then I would suggest this. After that, I didn't really want to read. I kind of got into a mini reading slump, so I was just like, ugh. And I felt like I was forcing myself to, you know, read one after another and just fly through books. So I decided I took like 3 or 4 days to finish this. Just, you know, slow down the pace a little bit and just, you know, chill. And because I wasn't really enjoying reading for a while, so that helped. And then I picked up this book, Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Amazing. I absolutely love this book. So good. So good. Everything I've heard about this is that you can't let the cover fool you. The cover is really bad and the story is really good. And all I can say is I totally agree with that. This cover is terrible for this book. It's a YA paranormal fantasy type book. It's about a girl named Anna who's 15, and basically her whole life she's been able to see people's auras, words, don't know how to pronounce them. And because of this, she's able to tell people's moods because they have colors and their mood depends on, or their color depends on their mood. So she's never really thought too much about it, but she's the only one who's known, like who she knows that can do this. And she has basically like superhuman senses, like she can hear further distances and she can see further distances, and her sense of touch and smell is more sensitive, is more sensitive than anybody's. So basically, she goes to this concert club type thing with her best friend, Jay? Yeah. Jay, her best friend Jay, and the drummer of the band that they're watching doesn't have any colors. He just has like this patch on his chest. And she finds out that his name's Kaiden, and she's just like him. And basically, he teaches her all about her world, why she can see people's auras, and why she has all these abilities and stuff. And then on her 16th birthday, she wakes up and she can see people's guardian angels. And it ends up that she has some superhuman, not human parents. And that's all I'm going to get into because I don't want to spoil anything. But basically, it has to do with demons and angels and spirits and legionnaires and dukes, and it is just so good. So good. And I love Kaiden. Love him to death. Not to death, because he's not all that good. But, hey. Also, I would not suggest this for younger people because there are some steamy scenes. Really good, and I flew through this in like less than a day and a half. So, that just shows you, and that was right after I decided that I wanted to slow my reading down, but I couldn't put this down. That was my wrap up, and now for my currently reading / to be read books. I have 3 books that I definitely want to get to that are going to be my next 3 read. The first one is The Scorched Trials by James Dashner. This is the second book in the Maze Runner trilogy. My bookmark's falling out. Don't want to do that. I'm only on chapter like 4. I'm on like page 14, but oh my god, it is so good so far. Holy crap. So good. I'm loving this trilogy. I know there's been mixed reviews about it, but I'm really loving it. I'm not going to say anything about it because I don't want to spoil the Maze Runner. And then the next book I have is Sweet Peril by Wendy Higgins, and this is the second book in the Sweet trilogy. What can I say? Loved it. I can't wait to read this. Can't wait to see what happens with Anna and Kopano. I don't know how to say his name. And Kaiden and all of the Neff. And then the next one, I just kind of picked up on a whim when I was picking up Sweet Peril. And it is Death by Deep Dish Pie by Sharon Short. I'll just read the back because it's kind of short. Like nearly everyone else in Paradise, Ohio, local laundromat owner and stain removal expert Josie Toad Fern eagerly awaits the upcoming 4th of July Founders Day celebration with its highlight, the annual Breitenstrater Pie Company Pie Eating Contest, sponsored by the owners of the town's upper crust enterprise. Ha ha ha. But things may not be so sweet this year, what with juicy rumors flying that a black sheep Breitenstrater wants to spill the beans about some deep, dark family secret, and when a pie-making bigwig suspiciously drops dead after sampling the company's latest wares, Josie leaps into action. She loves her teeny-weeny community despite its blemishes, and any stain on its reputation must be eradicated. I'm excited to read this, and then of course I'm going to be reading the other books that I have from the library from my library haul. Oh, and I'm also picking up Ellen DeGeneres' second book, and I can't think of what it's called right now, so I'll put it somewhere down here, there, wherever. And I'm also picking up Push Girl by Chelsea Hill, and I don't remember the other author's name. And it's basically this story that's based on Chelsea Hill's life. And if you don't know who Chelsea Hill is, she is one of the Push Girls from the show Push Girls on the Sundance Channel, and I believe both seasons so far are on Netflix, and go check it out. It's about these 5 women who are in wheelchairs, and they've all got some kind of spinal cord injury, and it's just a reality show, like following them around in their life and stuff, and talking about life in a wheelchair. And it is freaking awesome. They're freaking badass, and I love them. And this is Chelsea is one of those 5 women, and this book is about her, basically based on her accident and what happened in her life in a wheelchair and stuff. Go check that out. Go check them out. They're awesome ladies. So I'm really excited for those books. And I think that's it. I have a bunch of books still out from the library, so why I'm picking up more books is beyond me. But yeah. Hopefully nobody can like see me, because I'm parked like right at the library, and I've been talking for like 30 minutes almost, like freaking weirdo, long enough that my hair's been mostly dry. That is my wrap up for the underhyped readathon and my week since then and my TBRs. So that's it. Bye.